What is up, fam? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, the best place for coaches, entrepreneurs, and business owners. So today I'm going to dive into a really hot topic, and I'm going to talk about how I left my 9-to-5 as a nurse, the actionable steps that I actually took, the 3 biggest mistakes that held me back in underpaid salaries. And I'm also going to be answering some questions that were submitted on my Instagram stories about how to transition between that awkward phase of wanting to leave your 9-to-5, hating your job, being absolutely miserable, doing the slave labor every single day, and how to become a successful entrepreneur. Now, before I dive in, as always, this episode is time-stamped. So if you are a busy entrepreneur and you don't have time to watch every single part of this video, you can go ahead and you can fast forward up to the juicy parts that entice your curiosity. Otherwise, you can always watch me on fast forward. If you're anything like me, I watch everything at the fastest speed possible. Now, let's dive into today's episode. So in case you didn't know, I actually once upon a time in what feels like a past life, I was actually a nurse for 7 years. I started nursing when I was 18 years old, and I first started as an assistant nurse, and then I climbed my way up the nursing ladder. And when I first started in nursing, I worked in aged care. I did that for about 5 years, and then I went on and did a diploma of nursing, and I ended up specializing in anesthetics, where I would help the anesthetist put people to sleep in surgery, and I also worked in day surgery. But I have worked in so many different specialties around the private and public hospitals. I've worked in multiple different aged care facilities, and I did this for about 7 years of my life. I know, crazy, right? Fast forward to today, and I am a successful 7-figure business owner, and I coach coaches and business owners on how to build successful online businesses. I want to let you know that, this life wasn't always my life. I wasn't always a coach. I used to be like majority of the people in the world. I used to go and clock in, I'd clock out, I would work shift work, morning shift, afternoon shift, night shift. All whilst doing that, I was at university studying as well to go on to do my registered nurse bachelor degree and also my master's. And what really hit me back in 2015 was when I was sitting in a university lecture, and I just was sitting there thinking, like, why am I doing this? I'm in $40,000 of university debt to hopefully one day earn $80,000 a year. Maybe one day in many years to come, and even if I got given the opportunity to be a nurse unit manager of a ward, I might be on $100K a year. But it wasn't guaranteed. So I remember just sitting in university and sitting in this class, and I was like, why am I here? Why am I here? There has to be a better way to earn 6 figures a year. There has to be. I was burnt out, I was tired, I was emotional from doing back-to-back 12-hour night shifts. I was exhausted from doing uni, doing all these exams, all of these assignments, in all of this debt, not just university debt, but I was also in personal debt. And I just remember sitting there like wanting to give up. I'm like, there has to be a better way. Well, it wasn't until 2017 when I actually left my nursing career and went to work in the fitness industry. Unfortunately, I didn't actually dive straight into entrepreneurship at the time. I actually went and worked in so many different jobs in the supplement industry. I also opened a gym, I was coaching coaches, and I'd done so many different roles in the fitness space, and I actually ended up taking a $15,000 pay cut just to work in the fitness industry, which at the time felt like a logical good idea because I was unhappy in nursing, but it also put me into greater debt. So today I really want to share with you how I actually got out of underpaid salaries and the 3 mistakes that I made. So mistake number 1, that was focusing so much energy on building a website without actually selling my coaching services. So by the time that I had left nursing in 2017, I actually had my certificate in fitness. And I was an influencer in the fitness space. I had done bodybuilding and I had done multiple courses on nutrition. At that point, the logical strategy would have been to actually promote my services on Instagram. I was already creating content and I already had the influencer status. But instead of actually selling my programs, what I did was invest so much energy and time into trying to build a website on Wix. Now, I spent 3 months trying to build this website. I had no idea about technology. I had no idea about coding or like program development or anything rather. And over that whole period, I spent 3 whole months trying to build this website and I never hit publish. Now, the way that I see social media is I see social media as your website. So your content and your Instagram stories is literally your ability to be able to market yourself every single day. Whereas back then, I thought that the thing that was going to make me successful is to build a website, which isn't actually necessarily the case. So the second mistake that I made was investing into the wrong business mentors. So the very first business mentor that I invested into, and I will not disclose that person's name, was a very big influencer. And when I invested into this person, I didn't actually do any research into the person. I didn't ask for testimonials. I didn't really look very far into her very much. I had been following her for a really long time and she had pivoted from fitness into business. It was fine, except when I had gotten into the program, because I had invested such a low ticket investment, and this investment was around $3,000 at the time, and this was like many moons ago. The quality of the service wasn't actually that great because it was such a low ticket investment. Now, is that to say that low ticket investments aren't high quality? No, absolutely not. However, when I had gone into this program, I didn't actually get to work with that mentor. I never actually seen her. The course content was really poorly done and it didn't really give any business strategy or really specific strategy that was going to help me get clients. She was basically just telling me to share my story, which is what I had been doing for years. So when I purchased this program, it wasn't really what I had thought it was going to be. I thought that it was going to be learning like business foundations, like how to create a social media strategy, how to create a brand, how to do social sales, how to develop your program and your offer, and how to learn sales, because at the time I didn't even know how to be a coach or how to sell anything. So it wasn't exactly what I had thought that I was going to get. And I signed up for something that really was, in my opinion, it wasn't the best investment. However, I had learned a lot from the experience, and I had learned to do my research and actually ask more questions before I dive into paying somebody. The third mistake that I had made was severely undervaluing myself and undercharging. So back ages ago, I actually used to charge anywhere from $30 to $40 per week for my coaching services, which had entailed, full VIP service, customized programming, nutrition, weekly check-ins, the works. And, back then, if we do the maths, like $30 to $40 a week is not going to pay my bills. That was not going to allow me to be able to transition out of my 9-to-5 job and work for myself. Because if we take in consideration taxes after receiving $30 a week, if you take away your taxes from that, I was barely earning any money. So it made no sense for me to be undervaluing myself and undercharging myself for myself, because at the end of the day, like, that wasn't going to be able to provide me a sustainable income for me to leave my 9-to-5. Plus, I was also attracting really low quality clients, and clients that weren't really coachable, clients that weren't really showing up. And I truly believe it's because I didn't understand what my worth was and I was undervaluing myself. So those are the 3 biggest mistakes that I had made when I first started coaching and starting my own online business. Okay, so now I want to go into the Q&A questions that were submitted on my Instagram stories, and I'm going to answer those here. The first question comes in from Kirsty, and Kirsty asks, what did you find the most challenging leaving your 9 to 5? So for me, I think the most challenging part about leaving my 9 to 5 was having this big dream that was so big and not really knowing how to get there. I think, at the time I was working for other people, and I was spending all of my spare time outside of working for other people trying to build my online business. And every single time, the owner would find out about me trying to build my online business, it was almost like it was always a problem for them, because they couldn't understand, why would I be building my business whilst I was working for them? And there would always be all of these issues around whether I was working on my business whilst I was working for someone, which was never the case. It's just, obviously when you're working for someone and they're paying you a salary, then there's always going to be some form of a conflict of interest. And my Instagram was always a conflict of interest. So unfortunately, when I, quit nursing and then I worked in all of these jobs, the biggest thing that kept coming up with the business owners was about me trying to build my business on the side. And although I was fulfilling the roles and doing what I needed to do, that was always going to be the conflict of interest. So I would say that the hardest part was being questioned all of the time. And at the time, it's so scary because you don't know whether you're going to be fired because you're trying to work on, your side hustle at that time. And it's a really big risk to be arguing with business owners, and in their own right, they can question you and be unhappy about, your motives to build your own business whilst you're working for them. But it is very challenging navigating that whilst you desperately want to be online. But I must say that it was the biggest motivator for me to really knuckle down in my spare time and really get this online business up and running, because I was just so miserable working for other people, building other people's businesses on, minimal wage, barely scraping by. I remember having only $20 left in my bank account after every pay, after I paid all of my bills. And I was so miserable that I honestly just did whatever I could to get my online business up and running on the side, even if it meant that it was going to cause issues for the people that I was working with. Because at the end of the day, people that want to be employees will be happy in that job. And I think it was very, very clear at the time that I had, very strong leadership capabilities, and I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So in the long term, it was better that I just really focused on building this business on the side and transitioning out of my salary. So the next question comes in, and it says, when I'm working at my 9 to 5, I keep thinking about my side hustle. I want to create reels. Why am I even here? I don't feel fulfilled at my 9 to 5, hence creating a mindset of lack. And then how can I improve that? I think it's quite natural once you have this desire to become an entrepreneur and work for yourself, it is quite normal for you to feel very frustrated in the circumstances that you're in, because you're not in alignment with who you want to become. So when you become very self-aware and very consciously aware of the woman that you want to become, and the purpose that you have for your life and the vision that you have for your life, you start to slowly build up this frustration and anger and annoyance of being where you are working for someone else, because you know in your heart that there's actually more to working at a 9 to 5. And this is exactly what I felt. And it actually got to the point where I had the biggest breakdown, and I just quit my salaries and I went all in. I took a risk and I just started working for myself. So I feel like navigating this, it's not so much about you operating in lack. I think it just means that you need to take radical action and put an action plan in place for you to actually leave your 9 to 5. So what can you do to get yourself some more clients? What can you do to get yourself some more business? How much new business do you need to get in order to replace your salary? If I think of my salary that I was on before I before I went all in on myself, I was on $60,000 a year, which was around $700 a week, roughly, take home. And really, if I did the maths of how many clients I would need to get in order to replace that income, I actually didn't need to get that many clients. Because when we break it down like that, and then we set an action plan in place for 3, 6, and 12 months time, we're able to then move forward towards getting out of our 9 to 5, because we actually have like actionable steps that we can aim for and achieve in order for us to replace our salary. So I think implementing actionable steps is going to help you be able to quit. And I also feel like, yes, you are going to feel unfulfilled because you are doing something that you don't enjoy. So what can you do outside of your working hours that's going to allow you to move closer towards leaving your 9 to 5? And most of this just comes down to like putting a plan in place. And then even if you have to, like set a date, like I'm quitting this month and I'll do everything that I humanly possibly can do for my business in order for me to quit this month. But if I don't quit that this month, it's okay, because you can reassess when you get there. So the next question comes in, and how many months consistent income did you have before you quit, or savings? So this is a really good question. So I wouldn't say that my income was consistent. I actually started, I had been coaching prior to that, and it was very, very inconsistent income. And if I'm completely honest, I actually left working for someone with $500 in my bank account. Now, this is a huge risk, and I don't recommend that people do this, but I did it. And when I did that, I was working as a personal trainer in the gym. I had only started my contract about 6 weeks or so prior to doing so. I had $500 and I had to make a decision. It was either be miserable, be unhappy, and be bullied by the business owner and the people in the company, or take a risk, quit, back myself, and do whatever I humanly possibly could do to get clients. The moment that I did that, I have never hustled so hard in the gym. I didn't leave. I was there from 5 a.m. till like close time. I was constantly training people for free. I was in there making friends, talking to people on the treadmill. I did everything humanly possible to get that business up and running. You know, even from right down to marketing on social media every single day. I didn't miss a beat. Even when no one was buying, I kept selling, I kept marketing. You know, I was always just there, present, being there, because nothing's gonna make you work harder than putting yourself in a really uncomfortable situation, because in those moments you're going to get tested by the universe, and you either have two options. You're either going to go for it and you're gonna make it happen, or you're gonna do nothing. But you know, in those times when you do take a risk to trust that you actually can do this, you will work 10 times harder. And for me, I was just so excited not to be working for someone else that I was just thrilled to be able to have the space, you know, 38 hours back in my week for me to actually focus on my business. Now, was it hard? Absolutely. It was so freaking hard. I have never worked so hard in my life. That entire first 2 weeks just felt so big for me, but I was able to replace my income very, very fast. Again, if you think of $700 per week, it's not that hard, depending on how you're pricing your programs. You know, if you're pricing your programs at, let's just say, you know, $200 per week, you know, all you would need is about 4 to 5 clients in order to replace your income. So it's really just about figuring out, okay, how much do I get paid for my salary, and how much am I going to price my packages at, and then how many clients do I need in order to pay myself back that weekly income. And then that's pretty much how I did it. And it was a risk, and it was scary, and I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know if my business was going to take off, but I got 38 hours back in my week to be able to go all in on my business, and I made it work. So to wrap up this episode, I want to tell you what actionable steps that you can do over the next 3 months to get you out of working in a 9 to 5 job and working for yourself. Step 1, maybe you haven't thought of a business idea, or maybe you do have a business idea and you're not quite sure how to get it going. Maybe you just know that you don't want to work for someone else and you want to work for yourself, but you're not quite sure what that looks like. I would say go and learn a skill, a high income earning skill, okay? Coaching, high ticket sales, you can learn, copywriting, you can go and learn marketing or advertising. Go and learn something that's going to allow you to be able to make a significant amount of money for yourself, okay? The online space, there is so much that you can do in the online space. All it takes is for you to just ask yourself, like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And then researching what is it going to entail for you to actually make that, business idea come to life. So if you want to become a coach, what kind of coach do you want to be? What kind of certificates do you need? If you want to, for example, become a high ticket sales consultant, well, you might need to go and do a high ticket sales mentorship and learn how to do high ticket sales so you can get paid as a high ticket coach or consultant, right? Maybe you become like a TikTok manager or a TikTok strategist. So what do you need to learn in order for you to be able to be a TikTok manager or strategist, right? How much could you be charging for yourself? So really it just comes down to like figuring out, okay, what do I want to do? What industry do I want to work in? What certificates or what knowledge do I need to acquire? What wisdom do I need to acquire? Who do I need to hire? Do I need to hire a mentor? Do I need to go and do a course or a program or something to be able to learn this high income earning skills? And then plug yourself into that course, plug yourself into it, and then go and learn how to make more money, right? Then once you've done that, you're able to then figure out a pathway to be able to quit your 9 to 5, okay? The second thing that I would highly suggest is if you do have skills right now and you're not really quite sure where to start, the best thing that you could do for yourself is hire a business mentor. The best thing that you can do for yourself. It has been the best experience for myself. Even though my first investment wasn't the best, I will say that my second investment was phenomenal, and every single investment since then has been amazing. And I have always been plugged into mentorship. If you want to learn how to make a lot of money as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a coach, the best thing you can do is sit in a Zoom room or sit in a room with someone who has done it before you, because those people have the wisdom, the tools, the resources, the strategies, the skill set to be able to build you up into the person that you need to be. It's going to take you twice as long Googling it, trying to figure it out, trying to build free websites, doing free masterclasses and all of the free things. It's going to take you twice as long. So when you hire a mentor that's going to teach you what you need, you're going to collapse time, shorten the amount of time it's going to take for you to actually get it going yourself, and you're able to get to that goal faster than you would on your own. Now, the third thing is to come up with an action plan. Look at, a whole year. Look at the whole year. What do you need to do in order for you to replace your weekly income? Okay, so if you're earning $700 per week or $600 per week, what do you need to do to replace that income? If you're a coach, how do you need to set your pricing in order for you to be able to replace your income? How many clients do you need to get to be able to replace that income? Whatever skill or service you're exchanging for, how many clients do you need to get, and how much do you need to price your packages at in order for you to leave your income? Okay, so reverse engineer the process. Look at a whole year. Think, okay, if I set the date to leave at this date, what do I need to focus on now in order for me to get to that destination? That is it from us for today, guys. This was a really, really big episode. I hope that there was lots of gold nuggets in here for you. As always, please make sure you do give me the big thumbs up if you love this episode. If you want to get notifications every single week when I drop an episode, make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so you can get notified each week. And also, If you want to know how to build your online business, if you want to know how to become a coach to a CEO, if you want to know how to build, grow, and scale your online coaching business, I do have a gift for you. I help coaches go from being just a coach to a business owner and a CEO. So if you want to check out the actionable step-by-step process, make sure you head to the show notes down below. There is a link in the show notes that's going to take you to an amazing training where I'm going to show you exactly how to cut your calendar in half, how to replace yourself in your business, and how to scale your business to 50K plus cash months. So as always, guys, much love. I will see you in the next episode.